right, thank you. Okay, welcome to Quality Matters, lecture number 3. We are going to, lecture number, start over again. Welcome to Quality Matters, lecture number 4, where we're going to go over Quality Matters Standard 5, course activities and learner interaction, and Quality Matters 6, course technology. Again, our QM rubric, there are 8 general standards and 43 specific standards under the general standards. The 43 specific standards is what we must meet to become QM certified, and they're guided by the 8 general standards. We went over course overview and introduction during week 1. We went over general standard 2, learning objectives and competencies in week 2. Week 3, we went over assessment and measurement, instructional materials. And this week, week 4, we're going over course activities, learner interaction, and then General Standard 6, course technology. We'll finish out with week 5, learner support, General Standard 7 and General Standard 8, accessibility and usability. Okay, so we'll go over the substandards also, and again, to become QM certified, then you must score. There's the substandard, the specific standards are worth 3, 2, and 1 points. There are 21 3-point specific standards that are considered essential to become QM certified. Your course must meet all essential 3-point standards, all 21 of the standards. And then there are 14 2-point standards, which are considered very important. This is not necessary that you meet all those standards to become QM certified. And then you have 8 1-point standards that are considered important. And again, to become certified, then you must score 84 out of the remaining 99 points with the 2 and 1-point standards. Okay, General Standard 5, course activities and learner interaction. We have 4 specific standards underneath General Standard 5. The learning activities promote the achievement of the stated learning objectives or competencies. The learning activities provide opportunities for interaction that support active learning. The instructor's plan for classroom response time and feedback is clearly stated. The requirements for a learner interaction is clearly stated. So let's look at the first one. The learning activities promote the achievement of the stated learning objectives or competencies. This is an essential standard. The purpose of the learning activities is to facilitate the learner's achievement of the stated learner's objectives or competencies. So that's a little typo on the PowerPoint. So it should read the purpose of the learning activities then is to facilitate the learner's achievement of the stated objectives and competencies. So the first thing you want your learning activities to do is align with the course and unit level objectives and competencies, as well as with assessments, instructional materials, and course tools by engaging learners in activities that promote the standard of the stated learning objectives and competencies. The best way to show this specific standard is examples of alignment between activities and objectives or competencies. If the objective or competency requires the learners to deliver the activity of a persuasive speech, then the activities include choosing an appropriate topic for the speech, creating an outline, and taping a practice speech. If the objective or competency is to prepare each budget within a master budget and explain the importance of each budget in the overall budgeting process, the learners review information about this objective or competency in their text, watch videos of the case studies where different budgets are used, create different practice budgets, and develop a case study for a fictitious company explaining what would happen if each budget is not included in the master budget. And then examples of a mismatch between activities and objectives or competencies, which wouldn't work for specific standard 5.1. The objective or competency requires that the learners deliver a persuasive speech, but the activities in the course do not include the practice of a speech. Or the learner or competencies to prepare each budget within a master budget and explain the importance of each in the overall budgeting process. Let the learners review information about this objective or competency in their text and observe budgets worked out by the instructor, but they themselves produce only one of the several budgets. So again, substandard 5.1, the learning activities promote the achievement of the stated learning objectives or competencies. Again, some common sense. Again, your learning objectives is to learn to give a speech. Then your learning activities must include ways to give speeches. Okay, so let's move on to specific standard 5.2. Also an essential requirement working 3 points. The learning activities provide opportunities that support active learning. So the activities encourage engagement through different types of interaction. The interactions are designed to support with the course objectives and competencies and may vary with the discipline, purpose, and level of the course. But types of interactions include learner-instructor, learner-content, and learner-learner interactions. Active learning involves learners engaging by doing something such as discovering, processing, or applying concepts and information. Active learning entails guiding learners to increase responsibility for their own learning. So learner instruction interaction might include an assignment or project submitted for instructor feedback. Learner-instructor discussion on a discussion board also. Or frequently asked questions discussion forum moderated by the instructor. So we can see just having assignments for learner instruction interaction is going to work, but having a discussion board where the instructor takes part would be even better. Activities for learner content interaction might include assigned readings from a textbook, article, or online resource, assigned completion of a workbook or online exercise, or a learning how to learn activity. And activities for learner-learner interaction might include assigned collaborative activities such as group discussions, small group projects, group problem-solving assignments, or peer critiques. Again, a lot of times, again, we'll meet this standard with discussion boards, assignments, reading assignments of text, outside text, watching videos. The specific standard 5.2, the learning activities provide opportunities that support active learning. Okay, specific standard 5.3, the instructor's plan for classroom feedback on assignments is clearly stated. This is also a 3-point standard. And if we look at the annotation, we see that the philosophy QM, little teaching philosophy, that feedback from the instructors increase the learner's sense of engagement in the course. Learners are better able to manage their own course activities when they know when to expect feedback from the instructor. So the course provides clear information about when learners will receive instructor responses to emails and discussion postings, feedbacks on assignments and grades. And this information frequently appears on the course syllabus. If it is necessary to alter the response standards during the course, that the adjustment is clearly communicated to the learners. Again, on your course syllabus, maybe again recommend whatever's on the course syllabus, best practices, that you put some kind of course orientation place on your course platform with course policies, that you provide clear information when to expect feedbacks, like a 24-hour turnaround in emails, what days you'll be grading the discussion postings, when you'll be providing feedbacks for assignments to meet this specific standard. But an essential standard, again, that this helps the learners know what to expect from the instructor. And then closing out specific standard 5.4, we have a 2-point standard that the requirements for learner interaction are clearly stated. Okay, so here a clear explanation of the requirements for learner interaction helps learners plan and manage their class participation, and is important for promoting learners' active involvement in the course. So the learners need to know what to expect. The requirement provides a basis for the instructor to evaluate learner participation. If the expectations for learner interaction are clearly explained, then it is easier for the learner to meet those expectations. And then clearly explaining the role of the instructor and expectations for interaction with the instructor and other learners is especially helpful to learners from different cultures who may need encouragement to speak up or to try to understand how to treat people in authority in the United States. This information frequently appears on the course syllabus, and the requirements may specify the nature of the required participation and expectations, the frequency and quality of learner interactions. More specific task-related performance expectations may be included in the individual task description. The instructor also should provide rubrics detailing how the learner interaction is evaluated, including reading and responding to the instructors and classmates' posts. I think rubrics would work for this standard here. A lot of times, written instructions, what to expect by the learner, a lot of times doesn't amount to a true rubric. But again, rubrics for discussion boards would help. Rubrics are explanations on how papers are going to be graded, detailed instructions, all help the learner. Interaction helps them manage their class participation, and what to expect in the course, makes it easier for them to meet the expectations. Okay, so we want to move on then to General Standard number 6. That's General Standard 5, which we're going to talk about course technology. The specific standards, we have 5. The tools used in the course support the learning objectives or competencies in the essential 3-point standard. Another essential 3-point standard is that the course tools promote learning engagement and active learning. And then a 2-point standard, the technologies required in the course are readily available. In an important 1-point standard, the course technologies are important. And another 1-point standard, the links are provided to privacy policies for all external tools required in the course. Again, this is going to depend upon, the complexity of this is going to depend upon how much course tools you have in your course. And again, that's the thing, is you want more course tools, the better. You don't want technology for the sake of technology, but to have, technology, help, learning technology that helps the learners with their achieve their learning objectives, your learning objectives and competencies, certainly is desirable. So for here, the first standard, specific standard 6.1, the tools used in the course then support the stated learning objectives or competencies. So the tools align with course and module learning objectives and competencies by effectively supporting course assessment and instruments, instructional materials, and learning activities. Tools are functional software that provide areas for interaction in the course. They may be included in the learning management system or external to the learning management system. So tools that are functional software. Examples of tools, though, are discussion boards, chat rooms, gradebook, social media, games, whiteboard, wikis, blogs, virtual classrooms, and web conferencing. So again, if all your tools are in Canvas, then again, Lincoln has the Canvas orientation program, then that would go a long way with this whole general standard. But your specific tools are not required for the course, so you don't need to use them. But tools should be used to support course and unit level module learning objectives and competencies and fit the learning activities. Clear information and instructions are provided on how the tools support the learning objectives or competencies. And again, technology is not to be used for its own sake. But again, discussion boards are very helpful. We get a lot of use out of those discussion boards. But again, chat rooms, gradebook, social media, all used a lot. Specific Standard 6.2 is another essential 3-point standard that the course tools promote learning engagement and active learning. Okay, so the tools in the course should help the learners engage in the learning process rather than passively absorb information. Selective tools help the learner actively engage in the course by facilitating interactions with the instructor, course materials, and other learners. Examples of tools that support engagement of this and active learning: interactive real-time software such as real-time collaborative tools, webinars, and virtual words; software that facilitates interactions and collaboration such as shared documents or wikis; animation simulations and games that require learner input; discussion tools with automatic notification or read-on-read tracking feature; automated self-check exercises requiring learner responses. Okay, and then moving on to Specific Standard 6.3, we have a 2-point standard. The technology in the course are relatively available. Here, under the annotation, all required technologies are readily available through download, purchase at the bookstore, or other means. The word other technologies covers a wide range, including hardware, software, subscriptions, and plugins. The hardware and peripherals necessary to complete all course activities are obtainable. These include webcams, microphones, etc., and instructions on how to obtain the peripherals should be provided. The software chosen for the course is readily available via download and available on a variety of hardware platforms. If software is platform specific, equivalent software must be available for users using that platform. Examples of software may include word processors, spreadsheets, presentation software, statistical analysis software, audio-video tools, programming software. Learners should be able to obtain online tools and plugins such as Acrobat Reader, Flash, Java, media players, M3 players, wikis, and social media. Specific Standard 3.3 again, so to look into this a little closer, when web-based technologies are used, including your learning management system, which for us is Canvas, then information regarding the availability of tools on mobile devices should be used. So what on Canvas would be go over to the smartphones and tablets. The quizzes, discussion boards, exams, I don't think everything does. But again, to meet this objective, then you should have some information on that. You can do so with, again, by hooking into Lincoln's orientation program. In that orientation program, they have detailed listings on everything about Canvas technology there is, including information on the availability of tools and mobile devices. For technologies that require subscriptions, instructions are provided on how to obtain subscriptions, including information on the acquisitions of access codes and identification requirements. So if the students are going to have to subscribe to something, then you're going to have to tell them how to do so. This might be like a MindTap, which is outside information that comes into your course platform that they have to subscribe to. If you're going to use MindTap, then you would need detailed instructions on how to access MindTap. But again, whatever that you would be using, outside technologies, detailed instructions. Guidance is provided to learners on compatible alternatives to platform-specific peripheral software packages and other web-based technologies. Examples include software. It should have software that runs both on Mac and PC to let you know if the school has an information server that allows learners to use the software online. And 3, which features of the learning management system are accessible on a mobile device. Examples on how to ensure learner access include: 1, links are provided to the required peripherals; to be purchased from the bookstore or other source. So if you need them to purchase MindTap or software through the bookstore, that you have links provided for that. Number two, the links are provided that allow learners to access necessary course documents. It's recommended if you post course documents or you want the learners to use course documents, that you post links to them. Three, instructions are provided on how to access materials available through subscriptions to online journals or databases. This might be use of the library. When feasible, links are also provided for textbooks, CDs, and DVDs. Information provided includes the title, author, publisher, ISBN number, copyright date, and details on where copies can be obtained. Okay, and then moving on to specific standard 6.4, a 1-point standard. The current technologies should be up to date. The course technology should be current and up to date. Again, this would be, a lot of times this is, again, subject matter expert, examples of current technology that may be used and support course objectives to enhance course learning. Synchronous web conference tools used for orientation, group projects, tutoring, and test reviews, a mobile application that learners may use to identify plants and biology project, a wiki used for class collaboration, blogs for student journals, a simulation that demonstrates something is not feasible to demonstrate in the physical world, such as a process or procedure that takes place inside a hazardous or inaccessible place, a simulation replicating laboratory activities that allows manipulations of objects on screen similar to hands-on experiences in the lab, web-based voice tools used by English as a second language instructors to practice pronunciation in library. The course may take advantage of any of the learning management system features. So this is to be examples, again, I just gave you of technologies. They should be current. Again, a lot of it's common sense. It might need a subject matter in the field to testify what's current and what's not current. Specifics, we close out today with specific standard 6.5, which is also a 1-point standard, important standard. Links are provided to privacy policies for all external tools required in the course. Again, the tools in the course, whether included in the learning management system, which is Canvas, integrated with the learning management system, or external, include links to the policies provided by the creator of the tool. If you subscribe to the Lincoln online orientation, they'll give you they provide extensive knowledge about Canvas. I would say subscribe if you just link into that, the Lincoln orientation, in that extensive knowledge about Canvas, you will get the privacy policies and the privacy policies for the tools they use in Canvas, which is, again, if you use more technology, YouTube, for example, the learner is required to create an account with the username and password to access the tool. Then the privacy policies available to learners to read and safeguard their accounts. Social media websites. I think if you use YouTube, you can find a privacy policy right on YouTube. Just cut and paste it, put it in the area. Again, Facebook, if you use Facebook, you have to get the privacy policy for Facebook. But it would be good, whatever technology you use, that you have the privacy policies for. Okay, a lot of technology in today's presentation. Again, that's all that I have for today. Happy online teaching.